Now, are you tired of spending a fortune at the dealership on routine maintenance for your Mini Cooper? Today, we're gonna show you a step-by-step DIY on how to change your oil on any F-Series Mini. Speaking of any F-Series Mini Cooper, this DIY will walk you through the process. It's an F54 Clubman like mine, an F55, an F56 2-door or 4-door, or an F57 Convertible or F60 Countryman. If you have any of these models, you'll either have a 3-cylinder motor or a 4-cylinder motor. The process for the DIY is exactly the same for each, and we'll walk you through that in just a minute. The only difference is your oil capacity. Today, we're gonna be using a Liqui Moly Top Tech 0W20 oil. It is very important that you use the correct oil in your car. The reason for this, if you didn't know, is Mini is owned by BMW. BMW requires a BMW Long Life 17 FE approved oil, which this is. If you don't, they could void your warranty. That's why we're going with Liqui Moly today. The other thing we're gonna be adding is Ceratec. It's like a ceramic coating for your engine. It adds extra protection. So we'll throw this in with the oil and we'll be good to go. Now for oil capacity, if you have a 3-cylinder motor, you're gonna fill it up with 4.5 quarts. If you have the 4-cylinder like we do, you're gonna fill it up with 5.5 quarts. Last thing you'll need is an oil filter and a few simple tools, which we'll show you now. And to make things super easy, if you're looking for this oil change kit or any other mods for your Mini Cooper, check us out at Kies.com and we'll have all the links provided for you down in the description below. Let's get into the step-by-step process now. First thing we need to do is get the car off the ground safe and secure. Here at the shop, we like to use something like race ramps. It's super easy. You can use something like jack and jack stands, but for today's purposes, and so you guys can see, we are gonna put it on the lift, and that gives you the best viewing angle possible. Now that the car is off the ground, we need to open up the hood. So we're gonna pull that latch by your foot twice. Now that the hood's open, we can remove the oil cap. We can set this right on top. It's gonna release pressure and now we can go under the car. All right, then we're gonna take our flathead and we're gonna twist these locking tabs here and it's gonna drop down this cover and this cover. All right, now we're gonna need our oil drain pan. So we'll position this underneath. Then we can take our 17mm and we're gonna loosen our drain plug. All right, so that's finishing up draining right now. We need to take our oil drain plug and take the crush washer off. We don't need that anymore. And then we're gonna take the new crush washer that's provided in the oil filter kit, and we're gonna pop that on the oil drain plug, and now we can reinstall it. Then we're gonna take a torque wrench and we're going to torque it to 25 Newton meters. There we go. And then we can take the flap and we're going to reinstall the covers. Now we need to remove the oil filter drain plug. You're gonna need a T55 for this. And make sure you have your oil drain pan ready. Then we're gonna take an 1.25 inch socket and we're gonna remove the oil filter cap. The reason we're using a standard size is it's the most common socket you'll find in your tool chest. Get this on there. Break that free. And you're gonna also wanna have a towel ready to catch the oil filter. Okay, it looks just like that. Then to remove the oil filter, you take it, pull it straight off, and we can get rid of that. And now we can replace it with our new filter. Then you're gonna take the new filter with the clip side down, pop it on until you hear that audible click. And included in the oil filter kit is a new drain plug. We're gonna feed that in this side. And we'll tighten that down once it's on the car. Last thing before we can put this back on the car is we need to remove this O-ring here. So take either tweezers or a pick tool. Go ahead and get under that. Pull that one off. Take the new O-ring, we're gonna slide this on. And then we're gonna line it up into this channel right here. Just like this. Then we're gonna take some of the fresh oil and we're gonna rub it on that O-ring right there. Make sure it's ready to seat properly. And now we can reinstall the new oil filter. We're also gonna torque this to 25 Newton meters. Then we're gonna torque the T50 down to 5 Newton meters. Now we can reinstall the cover. Now we like to use a fill container like this one here. It makes it super easy, especially when combining things like Ceratec to your oil, so we can mix it all in and then add it to the car. Awesome. The last thing we need to do is reset our oil lights. We're gonna cycle the ignition on by hitting the start stop button one time. This will put the car into accessory mode and alert you by saying ignition switched on. So we'll wait a couple seconds for that to go away. And now we can use the button here to get into the service menu. Now, if you have an analog cluster like I do, your button will be here. If you have a digital cluster, it will be up at the top left corner and you can press it on this side. So what we're gonna do is press and hold this button here. It'll take about 3 to 5 seconds and it'll enter the service menu. Okay, once we're here, we can let off. And as you can see, we are able to reset our oil here. So we're gonna press and hold again. We can let off when it says reset, and then we can press and hold one more time. Keep holding as it goes through the reset progress, and it'll tell you reset successful. Now, if it says reset unsuccessful, sometimes you will have to go into your menu and set the date and time. That will allow the car to know when the date needs to be reset to. Now that you're here, you can cycle the ignition off. Wait a couple seconds, and you can turn your car on. Now that we have the car running, we can check our oil level. There's no physical dipstick in the engine bay, so we have to check it through the menu here. So if you click My Mini, which is this one right here, and you scroll to Vehicle Status, and you select over here on the left the engine oil level, you can measure your engine oil level here. Click Start Measurement, and it'll just take a few minutes. All right, and as you can see, our engine level is okay. So as long as you're between these two lines, you're good to go. And that's how easy it is to do a full oil change on an F-Series Mini Cooper. Again, if you're looking for any of the parts or tools we used in today's video, check out the links in the description, or for any other awesome mods for your Mini Cooper, check us out at Kies.com. We'll see you in the next video.